Alright, I'm going to do an overview of the Google extension Read and Write. Um, I'm going to do it on this document that I was sent from an front office worker from my school. I definitely think this is an accessible digital tool that most students could use. From my experience anyways, a lot of students that I've worked with have worked with Google Docs or the Google Suite with Google Drive and everything, so I think it's very accessible that way. And it's very user friendly. This is supposed to help with their reading and writing, especially if they're still working on their spelling or complete sentences or grammar or whatever it may be. It's definitely user friendly. It's definitely easily explainable. If you hover over all of these options, you can see what goes with what. You can select on a word. Click play.
Our annual prom and wedding dress event is coming. The date of the event is Saturday, February 9th, 2019. It's a fabulous event.
It will highlight one sentence at a time and it'll read it, and it's an easy way for, especially with students that are maybe behind on their reading levels, but they can follow along word by word because it highlights each word as it says it. You can also, if you want to check it, I believe you're supposed to be able to, it was working earlier, you're supposed to be able to like select a word on check it, and it's going to give you different options of ways to pronounce it. If maybe it's not the correct word that you want to have in there, instead of R, maybe you want to say out or something, and it's supposed to say that. I don't know why it's not. Oh, this one.
1.
So
Obama.
it can predict what word you
1.
want there, but it also
R.
is supposed to see what kind of options you wanted there. Excuse me. A great thing too is the audio maker. This one that I'm hovered over, you can select the entire text and convert it to an MP3 file, so kids can take that and transfer this information onto their phone, take it off their computer and put it onto their phone so that they can carry it with them, travel with them, so that they can listen to it and not have the visual of like following along, but they can just listen to it in the car, like I said, on their phone or whatever they may be doing. You can search the web. This is a great thing with the no tech tool, where if they use like a ruler or something to follow along with their reading, this is a great way to kind of follow along with the reading without being distracted by other things like the highlighted section. Your eyes drawn to that, so the kids won't be distracted to be moving ahead of that. The talk to type is I think a great tool, especially for, I like to kind of make verbal notes to myself. So usually I videotape myself, but I should do voice memos. But I think this is a great thing for kids to use because they can just click on that and it will start typing for them. Period. New sentence. And you can, it's not supposed to do that, but you can keep talking and it'll just create the sentence for you, period. But I think it's a great tool, especially because I use weekly writing assignments to kind of allow students to voice their opinions and have a voice about different artists and artwork and stuff, but a lot of them still struggle with the writing, and I always tell them to write complete sentences, but for some reason, I don't know if they're just lazy or what it may be, or maybe they're just, I don't know. They don't always add periods or capitalize, and I think this is a great tool, if it worked correctly, to work on different things like that. You can use this as any like word editor too, and you can, you want to come back or you want to like highlight an important text or whatever, and you can decipher and like distinguish which one is going to be significant based on the color. So you can do that. Another thing you can do is you can practice reading it loud. So if you make a selection of what you want to practice reading, it'll separate it out for you. You can click record and you can start practicing your reading. And however far, if you have trouble with it or whatever, the teacher should be able to see the section that you want to read, but you can
click record,
listen to
and you
it,
can start practicing your.
decide if you're happy with it, and then you can send it to your teacher or whatever you want to do. You can also do voice notes, so it's not necessarily speech to text, but you can actually just type in somewhere, record, make sure to incorporate the citation, blah, 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 whatever. And then you can, again, view it and then insert it into the section. But that's, oh, you can also translate too. You can define with the dictionary. Express whatever you want to do verbally. It'll define it for you. But you can also translate it, and it will offer multiple language translations. And then lastly, you can go to options over here, and it's very, I mean, I think it's not overwhelming with all the options that you can use, but you can modify, you can turn off various features, you can change the language, and you can modify the appearance of everything and the tools and how it helps you. But I just think it's very easy, very user-friendly, and I just think it's a great tool, very accessible to all the students that I currently have, and very beneficial in every aspect. So that's